Why did I choose to study pharmacy, and would I still recommend it in 2023? My name is Yasser. I've worked as an NHS pharmacist for the past 7 years now, including my training year. I currently teach pharmacy students as well. So I want to go through my journey to pharmacy. I want to make it a bit of an informal video, but go through the reasons as to why I wanted to study pharmacy, and then I will focus on whether or not you should study pharmacy in 2023. So when I was studying for my A-levels, I knew that I loved science related subjects, but I did not know which career to go into and how to utilize my love for science. So that's when I started looking into careers where I could go through a degree and start working essentially immediately after that degree. So this is where I differed from my friends. Some of my friends went into degrees where they knew that following on from their degree, they were going to start another course to then know exactly where they wanted to be, but they were very well aware that they'll do 2 degrees in that entire process. That was not the mindset that I had. I was very much focused on going through a degree where as soon as I complete that degree, I can go straight into working life. And that's because I didn't want to spend a lot of time at university. Little did I know about the fact that I would end up doing another course. I'll go through that in a bit more detail later in this video. So I looked at professions where you can utilize your love for science and work face to face with patients. I was looking for a role where I'd be respected in the healthcare space, where I can really utilize my love of science. So I looked at a few different options. I looked at optometry, I looked at pharmacy, and I briefly looked and considered medicine. Now, one thing that I would take note of with regards to medicine is, at the time, you don't actually know much about what a medic does. You know that the term being a doctor is very respectful within the community, but I honestly didn't know about junior pharmacist life at all. I didn't know that it's actually quite a difficult journey when you start working, and often junior doctors may say to you, and I have a lot of friends that are junior doctors, that quite often it's not as rewarding as they would like. I actually didn't know that side to it, but I also knew that it's something that you have to prepare for very well in advance, and it's not something I was actually considering when I was younger. The reason why I'm going to spend a lot of time explaining why I didn't do medicine is quite often, this is one of the challenges of pharmacy. Quite often people don't understand the role of pharmacists, and because people don't understand the role of pharmacists, we get a lot of criticism about our role in the healthcare space, which I do want to speak about. So I didn't consider medicine because I just didn't prepare for it. I didn't prepare an understanding of what the role actually entailed, but I knew a lot of pharmacists, and my brother was a pharmacist, a lot of people in my family are pharmacists, and I spent some time in pharmacies, and I thought I could actually utilize my love of science, my love of treating medical conditions and the body, and I can utilize that in a profession where I can work and make people feel better. I wanted a sort of patient involved role when I was considering careers. So that's when I started to study for pharmacy. I actually didn't get the grades for pharmacy. I initially ended up with 3 C's as an average over my A-level period. And then I did not have the grades that any pharmacy school in the UK would accept me. Now, that was a very interesting year, because if I did not get into pharmacy school that year, it would mean that I need to pay £9,000 a year rather than £3,000 a year for my college degree, because the government was going to increase the tuition fees in the UK. So I had to go back to college, retake my exams. I had a very tough year, and I had the support of a lot of family members that helped me study, and I managed to get 3 A's. I was very grateful for that, and I started studying pharmacy. The pharmacy program takes 4 years, and since graduating, I've worked in community pharmacy, and I now work in hospital pharmacy. I now teach at the same university where I learnt pharmacy and I studied pharmacy, and I teach students that are hoping to become pharmacists. Now, these are the reasons why I studied pharmacy. The question is, would I recommend someone studying pharmacy today? And the short answer is yes, but there are several reasons for this. The first reason I would give you is the role is developing faster than ever. We now have pharmacists working in the community space, so community pharmacy, now working in GP surgeries, in primary care, and in secondary care, pharmacist roles have really developed. I currently work in secondary care, which is a hospital environment, and I manage patients in clinic. My second point is there's an opportunity to become a prescriber. There are very few roles where you can actually prescribe medication, and pharmacy is one of them. The good thing about being a prescriber and being a pharmacist is you have the advantage of spending 4 years at pharmacy school learning about how medications work, and then you have to prescribe those medications. One thing that you may find difficult when it comes to prescribing is your inability to diagnose patients well because of your lack of teaching when it comes to diagnosis. This should change, and this leads me up to my third point. Currently, the cohort of pharmacists that are currently studying pharmacy or are accepted into pharmacy school now will all end up being prescribers now. So this is something that will vastly change the pharmacy space. It means that pharmacy school will be more oriented towards teaching you how to diagnose different conditions and being a good prescriber. So you will be a prescriber and also a specialist in medication. Point number 4 is quite possibly a work-life balance. And this is when I comparatively look at my role compared to people that work as junior doctors and doctors. When I compare my role compared to my colleagues that work as junior doctors, quite often the work-life balance is a lot better for the pharmacy career. It can be quite challenging, and particularly your junior years, if you're working in hospital, or if you've got a stressful role in community where you're a manager, or if you're working within primary care and it's a stressful environment, it can be quite tough. That's not me taking away from how tough that journey is, but it is also a very rewarding career where you can have what is a work-life balance. My role, I currently finish at 5 p.m. every day, and very rarely will I finish later than that. So that's something that often people looking into this career want to know. What questions do you have with regards to the pharmacy profession? Drop them down in the comment section below, and let's help each other out. If there are other people that are viewing it that are pharmacists, try and answer those questions, and I will try to answer your question too. Hopefully you found this video useful. If you did, if you're interested in pharmacy or healthcare related content, like this video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.